Hi, and welcome back to my YouTube build videos playlist. This is going to be the Magica Sorcerer build for the Elsweyr patch. Now, things have definitely changed for the Magsorc. Notably, we are not using Liquid Lightning anymore. We are using Lightning Flood. Lines up quite a bit better with the other dots, so no overcasting anymore. And it also lines up fairly nicely with the Daedric Prey that we are using. We have now switched to the Twilight Tormentor now as a Sorc. So a few things have definitely changed for the builds that I run personally. Now going on the pet build because it is hitting about 6 to 7k, maybe even 10k higher than a non-pet build. So yeah, this is the way to go as far as I can tell, and I have done some extensive testing on the target Iron Atronach today. Yes, Elsweyr has just dropped today on PS4, but I have also done testing on PC as well. And so yeah, let's get right into it. This is going to be the Magica Sorcerer build that I am going to be personally running this patch, unless anything serious changes. So, getting right into it, we're going to look at our skills first. Elemental Weapon is going to be our spammable. This is found in the Psijic skill line. You can get this by starting up the Psijic quest, and going up until I think it's level 3 is when you get it, and then or it's either 2 or 3, and then continuing on, and I would go until you hit Psijic level either 5 or 7, depending on if you want those spell orbs or not for the passives. But this is it. This is the spammable. It infuses your weapon with power, and it basically buffs your light attack, and it gives you you deal an additional 9,000 magic damage, and then you apply the Burning Concussion or Chill Elemental status effect. It's at random, chosen at random, but every light attack you apply at least one. So very, very good, very overpowered. And the price of the cost of the ability is actually pretty low compared to like Force Pulse or something like that, which does almost the same thing. Our Execute is going to be Endless Fury. You could choose Mage's Wrath if you would like the extra AoE damage. To me, that doesn't really matter. But Endless Fury does hit very hard in Execute, especially raid buffed. I've seen it hit for over 60k. So it's a very, very nice Execute on the Sorc, and you need to have that slotted. Our next skill is Crystal Fragments on the front bar. Crystal Fragments, we only use this when it is on the proc and not hardcast. We never hardcast this, only on the proc. So when the icon turns a different color and you see it on your buff bars, that is when you cast it, and only then. Bound Aegis. This actually, I did a little testing today, and I found that this actually gives you more max magicka than Inner Light does when you don't have Meteor equipped. So, Bound Aegis is the right way to go. Run this one in your flex spot where you would normally run Inner Light or something like that. Go ahead and run this. And for our pet, we are going to be running the Twilight Tormentor. Twilight Tormentor, once summoned, you can activate the Twilight Tormentor's special ability, causing it to deal 50% more damage to enemies above 50% health for 15 seconds. Lots of 5s there. Basically, this, once you get underneath 50%, you do not cast this pet anymore. But you continue with your Daedric Prey. You keep that up. Greater Storm Atronach is going to be our front bar ultimate. Now this ultimate provides a great synergy for your DPS partners. hanging out around you. Don't cast it near the tank. They might steal the synergy. It's just something that happens on PS4. You can get add-ons and things like that to mitigate that on PC, but on PlayStation 4 or Xbox One, you don't have the option for add-ons. So try to keep this this ultimate in the DPS group, slightly to the side and away from the tank. On our back bar, we run Blockade of Fire. We run this on every Magica tune that we have. Blockade of Fire does it's a ground-based dot, big, wide, long rectangle, and it also has the added burning enemies take 20% more damage from this ability, which is great because Elemental Weapon provides the burning status effect. So you are essentially buffing yourself every time you use it, and every time you apply the burning effect onto an enemy, you buff your Blockade of Fire. So very, very good. Keep it up. Daedric Prey. Curse an enemy with destructive rune dealing blah 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 damage to the target and AoE damage to others. While the curse is active, your pets deal an additional 40% damage to the target. So this is why it works so well with the Tormentor, is because you just get an extra almost 100% damage done to your target. So it's a great one. Got to keep this up. You got to try for 100%. I know it's not going to be possible sometimes, but keeping it up anywhere from 90 to 100% is a really, really good thing, and it will help you in your group because you'll be doing so much more damage. So. And I just morphed this because I saw what it had. It's been changed to. We are now using Lightning Flood. It is now 8 seconds, right along with Blockade of Fire. So Blockade of Fire, Lightning Flood are both 8 seconds. This is 6 seconds. So theoretically, this all works together, and it actually does work really well together. But it does a little bit extra damage. Create a Nexus Storm energy at the target location, dealing 3,313 shock damage to enemies in the area every 1 second for 8 seconds. So it has a much higher DPS. It's a little shorter of an ability, but it has much higher DPS. So this is the morph that I run, and I recommend you running it as well. And then Twilight Tormentor again on our back bar because we need to double bar pets. And for our shield, we are actually running Dampen Magic now. The Harness Magica isn't worth it in my opinion. Dampen Magica lasts for the same amount of time, but it's a bigger shield. So it is capped at 50% of your max health. And running a pet build, your max health is going to be augmented just from the passes in your Daedric skill tree, so Daedric summoning skill tree. So I would recommend using Dampen Magica for raids and things like that. You can go back to Empowered Ward, which gives a little bit of Magica recovery, but it is a 2k less shield. So just be aware of that. For things like arenas and solo play and things like that, I would recommend Dampen Magica for sure. Over Empowered Ward. So, with that out of the way, we are now going to get into our sets. On the front bar, we are running an Inferno Staff of Mother Sorrow. The shock damage glyph, I need to change that. That's going to be a flame damage glyph, and then on the back bar is going to be a Berserker. So, these two are wrong. I'm going to change those eventually here. Yeah, so flamed staffs, both are flame staffs. Mother Sorrow is going to be our front bar set because of the amount of crit that it provides, which is just an insane amount, honestly. And then the Maelstrom Inferno staff on the back bar infused. We're going to do a Berserker enchantment, and front bar is going to be flame enchantment. And then our monster set is going to be Zan. I put a health enchantment on it just to get that little bit of extra health, but you don't have to if you don't want to. You can go full Magica. And then our body pieces are going to be necropotents. Necro, for whatever reason, not really sure why, is hitting hard, really hard. It's hitting about as hard as Sorcerer, maybe a little less hard, but we don't have add-ons on console, so the next best set, I've tried a lot of sets. I tried Julianos, I tried Burning Spellweave, Sorcerer, what else did I try? Yeah, I think that's it. I think I just tried those. I want to say I tried another one, but yeah, Necropotence outperformed all of them. So super good set. All divines, and our jewelry is going to be mostly arcane because we are still running a Bloodthirsty, but arcane does slightly pull ahead of Bloodthirsty in some situations. So if you have an extra arcane laying around and you have Bloodthirsty as well, keep them both. It's fine. You don't have to retransmute it. Just know that arcane is pulling ahead in a few fights. So yeah, there it is for that. All right, so let's go to our character sheet real quick here. And that's the raw stats right there. 48.9% spell critical, but with our potion we are at 58.9, which is, we could say that's pretty much 60%, all things considered. And we're at 1000 Magica recovery, and we are running the Shadow Mundus, which gives us an 18% increase in our critical damage. We are running double Bloody Mara for food. You could run Clockwork Citrus Fillet as well. You'll have less health. It's been slightly nerfed and a little less Magica than normal, and a little less recovery. So just be aware when you use things like that, now things are a little bit different. The recovery foods specifically have been nerfed a little, slightly. So let's move into our champion points, and then we'll be wrapping this build up. So we're going to the green tree first. 44 into Warlord, 75 Tenacity, 76 Arcanist. Probably take that out. 75 Arcanist, I mean. And 2 Shade, 40 Shadow War, 34 Tumbling. In our blue tree, we are running 61 into Elfborn, 49 Elemental Expert, 23 Spell Erosion, 19 Staff Expert, 66 Master at Arms, and then 52 into Thaumaturge. Our red tree is basically like a Maelstrom setup for now, but yeah, that's the champion points, and that's the build. At the end of this, I will include a link in the description, actually, to a DPS test I did with this exact setup. I hope you enjoyed the build. I hope this helped you out, and have a great day, night, evening, afternoon, whatever time of the day or night this is for you in whatever part of the world you're in. I hope you have a great one. And enjoy Elsweyr. It has just dropped. This is Muscle YTG signing out.